Brady and Carrie Timms, happily married, have a little boy in 2021. They have a son. When little Jameson was born, just in a few weeks, he started having these discolorations show up on his joints, and then it would go away. Well, they took their baby to the pediatrician to talk to him about it. Some of the time they would just be gone. They would just go away. The markings are gone. Okay, it's no big deal. Then they would come back.
They wouldn't lighten up and change. They just disappeared.
Yeah, I think they just completely disappeared. It was more like discoloration marks.
Okay.
They weren't looking at it like, oh, how did this bruise get on our baby? It was more like, what's on our baby? What is this mark on our baby? They went to Erlanger Hospital, which is in Tennessee. They really didn't do a very good job at this hospital handling anything. They had Brady and Carrie spend the night to wait on results. They didn't really get very far with anything. They went to their pediatrician again. I have seen pictures of this on Jameson. He had a like skin missing on his little cheek. It almost looks like an eczema mark, like a spot that would probably itch somebody. And I think that's what prompted them to the pediatrician that day was this mark right here. And then saying, he's had these discolorations. Like, what is going on? So while they're looking at the baby, they see under his tongue a red dot. And I've seen photos of this. And you guys, it was just like these other situations. They were immediately starting to talk about somebody force feeding this baby.
A red mark under the tongue, like
Yeah.
a sore, like a discoloration.
Carrie's the one who noticed it, by the way. While she's there in the office, she's noticing this mark. And so they're worried about this. They look at, I can see this mark under his tongue too. It was red. It was very red. And on a newborn at this time, he's 6 weeks old. I mean, that is something to say, where did that come from, right? Because not many things, a pacifier, a breast, a bottle, those are the only things going into a baby's mouth. But she found it and was concerned about it.
And they thought it was from force feeding? That it
Yeah.
was under the tongue?
Yes. As in someone was shoving. I don't even, it's not funny. It's not funny, but in my mind, I try and picture things. And I'm like, how would that even happen with a breast or a bottle? They ended up sending Brady and Carrie home, but said, we have to call DFACS. They get to their house and DFACS is there at their house waiting on them. They came home and were told by a caseworker, maybe an investigator, you might could take a parenting class and get DFACS off your back. They get called by DFACS a couple of days later and they're told you need to take Jameson to TOA immediately and be prepared to be treated like criminals.